Football players are known for their fancy, crazy, and flashy hairstyles. Some hairstyles can be called weird, like Arturo Vidal's and Balotelli's. Some are just normal, like those of Gerrard, Lampard, Xavi, Gundogan, Rodri, Kaká. Others are incredibly beautiful, like some of Ronaldo's hairstyles, David Villa's and Neymar's. But one thing doesn't coexist with hairstyles. You guess it right. Yeah, baldness. Meaning that no matter how much you would also like to flip your hair, your genetic blueprint might not be in support. However, with a lot of money at your disposal, there are only a few things that can't be done, and conquering baldness is not one of them. And that's why some players have spent huge amounts of money on hair transplants, like Rooney in 2011, Ter Stegen in 2019, and Jordi Alba in 2020. But what if I told you some players had full hair but chose to shave it during the course of their careers and people already believed they were bald? Well, until they retired or reached the tail end of their careers and grew back their hair. Yeah, there are some weird players like that. Here are 6 players that unconventionally chose baldness in their prime. Samuel Eto'o. For most part of his playing career, Samuel Eto'o unconventionally chose to shave his head. At Mallorca and Barca, the Cameroonian always kept his head clean of hair. However, in the later stages of his career at Anzhi Makachkala, Chelsea and Everton, he decided against it and started keeping his hair. Pepe. Everybody knows the bald guy that tormented strikers, including Messi. He had the image of a bald villain. Pepe signed for Real Madrid from Porto, and he always shaved his hair until his last seasons in Real when he started growing it and left people dumbfounded how much hair he can still grow. Now at Porto, he is still keeping the hair, and you'd argue he looks less like a villain now. Ronaldo. Arguably the best striker that has ever graced the pitch. The Brazilian made the news for many reasons off the pitch. Most times because of his weight gains. In 2002 World Cup, he set tongues wagging about his infamous hairstyle. However, for most of his playing days, his head was shaven. But to people's amazement, he grew his hair after retirement and has kept it since then. Victor Valdés, one of the most decorated goalkeepers in the history of the game. The former Barca goalkeeper had what we described earlier as normal hairstyle in his early days as a pro player, but all of a sudden started shaving his head to the extent that most people thought he had gone bald, excluding his barber, of course. But after his departure from Barca, we saw him grow his hair again during his stints at Man United and Middlesbrough. Demba Ba, apart from his sharpness and lethality in front of goal, the Senegalese was also known for his bald head. In his prime, when he was at Newcastle, anyone would argue he had gone bald, but to everyone's surprise, we saw him with full hair in the tail end of his career at Istanbul Başakşehir. Young. I especially remember this guy as a young bald man who, alongside Rooney, condemned Arsenal to 8-2 demolition in his debut season at Man United. Young was young at the time, but unconventionally bald for his age. However, when he left Man United for Inter in 2020, he grew his hair and left fans stunned at his strange choice of shaving his head in his heyday. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Soccer Villa brings you the best football stories with so much fun.